And then Ash says, I was hoping you wrote it down because I don't remember.
I don't know what he says, but the music kicks in.
It's like halt or something.
Yeah, it just says like, fuck you. And Pikachu pulls out Ash and Ritchie. You've got a friend in me, folks. No, this isn't a Toy Story podcast. This is a Pokemon podcast. This is To Kill A Delibird, the Pokemon anime rewatch podcast where we dive into old Pokemon anime episodes, recap them, dissect them, have fun with them. This week, and why we're talking about friends, we got friendship on the mind. You know, anime is all about the power of friendship. And this week, we're diving into the end of the Pokemon Indigo League episodes. We've got episode 80, A Friend Indeed, episode 81, Friend and Foe Alike, and episode 82, Friends to the End. It's all about the power of friendship. And that's why I got my friend with me, Kellen. How's it going, Kellen?
I thought we were cousins.
Cousins can be friends. Shout us out in the comments if you're friends with your cousins.
We were forced to be in a family. Whatever we do from there is our choice. You know
well that I have cousins I'm not friends with. You do too.
Wow, we're getting into family drama today.
I'm just saying. That is not a necessity. We are friends and that's cool. Anyways, I would say we're friends. Yeah, I mean, sure. We run a podcast together. That's not like a normal cousin thing.
Not every podcast host is a friend with each other.
Well,
sometimes that's the draw.
I guess that's true. You got me there.
Remember the Mythbusters? I hear they weren't really friends.
Really, the Mythbusters aren't friends?
Apparently.
Are you busting the real myth?
From what I know,
friendship?
They respected each other a lot as work colleagues, but they never really like got along on a friendship level. They didn't really hang out with each other ever.
Well, that's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
You busted that myth, Kellen.
Boom, busted.
So anyways, yes, welcome back, folks. I am Graham. I am the member of this podcast who isn't as big a Pokemaniac, but I'm having a blast, getting more and more into the world. And of course, I went through this stuff when I was younger, when it was kind of first coming out. I like a lot of anime, manga, video games, that sort of thing. Kellen is the world's greatest Pokemaniac. Ask him a question.
I might know it.
He might know it.
You ask me a question right now.
Okay, what is the diameter of a Snorlax's belly?
14 feet.
That's probably right. Oh my God,
you're a genius.
I'm going
to look it up. I'm going to look up
Do they have
height.
data on that?
I don't think so, but they'll have its height. Okay, it's 6'11" tall. Now the diameter of its belly, I mean, it's pretty big.
6'11". It's not that big. It doesn't have a 14-foot diameter belly.
It looks as wide as it is tall for the most part.
But so that's 6
and if
feet?
you're 7 feet pretty much, 6'11".
Okay.
But the I was thinking radius.
Right.
Never mind,
you're
right.
Thinking
you're
radius,
right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like a big Snorlax, like a really
big Snorlax.
Yeah.
That's what we only talk about the biggest Snorlaxes here. So you were correct. Can't believe you would out yourself right in the sales pitch
I'm so
of
sorry.
the podcast.
Oh goodness.
Trust us. This is a good time. So it's all about friendship this week. Are you excited to dive into these?
I'm so excited.
It's been a long time coming. We've been having fun, going into the Pokemon Indigo League final episode so far. And yeah, I liked these episodes. It's a fun little arc.
Yeah, I think we should say that unfortunately, with the finale of the Indigo League, this will be the last episode of To Kill A Delibird. In the Indigo League, because we're going to Orange Islands next, baby.
Fucking
got him.
Baby.
Got him. Oh, shit. I got you so hard.
I hope nobody ended the podcast there. Everybody shit their pants in surprise and grief.
It's not like we've been saying it for 2 months.
You ever have a grief shit? You're so sad you shit yourself?
Can't say I have.
Yeah, me neither. Totally. So anyways.
Yeah. We said we wouldn't blow it out the intro of the podcast because there'd be a lot to get to this week.
We won't. I do, I always like to do a quick list. This week will be really quick. If you wanted to check out last week's episode where I did a list of 100 things, that was wild. I'm doing a list of 5 this week. And so, we're at the end of the league and we see what the league is, right? The League for Competitive Pokemon Battles. And I was trying to think of, there's probably leagues for all kinds of stuff. And I could try to think of things that, would be kind of dumb to have a league on. But then I'm like, I bet you a bunch of them exist. We talked about competitive Excel spreadsheets before. So I tried to think of 5 ideas for competitive leagues that probably don't exist. Okay. So I'll name them off and you can vet me. Like, okay, do you agree that probably doesn't exist? And it's tough because, like, first I was like, knitting. I bet you there's a knitting league.
There's gotta be a knitting
There's gotta
league.
be a knitting league. So it's not knitting. Okay. Number 5, a competitive league for sideways glances. Huh? That can't be real.
I just kind of rolled my eye sideways, glanced at you off of that one.
This is an audio podcast.
Yeah.
But I felt it. Okay, number 4, and this is a throwback to the glory days of To Kill A Delibird. Lactoderm creation. Who can get to the lactoderm? It's the fat that forms on gravy.
Classic bit.
Imagine a league for the fattest lactoderm.
All-timer bit on the podcast, the skin that forms on gravy day. That is in the
Lactoderm.
Mount Rushmore of TCAD moments.
It's like lactoderm. It's like pizza in Paris. It's Mr. Bean. Like, this is all what the mountain looks like. Is
So
that
good. Yeah.
All right. Number 3, a competitive league for listening to podcasts.
Oh.
How'd that even work? Well, I think our listeners would win anyhow.
Oh, because they're the best.
Yeah, they're the best.
Except for that one. You know who you are.
Nolan. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Number 4, sleeping. Competitive league for sleeping.
Oh, there has to be. I'm looking that one up.
This is the most realistic, yeah. But, like, I don't know. It's so lazy. You think?
World Sleep Championships.
Get out, really?
Oh, website blocked due to riskware.
Well, it might or might not exist. Okay.
There's a YouTube video about something about
So
sleeping.
I
I'm
might
not going to
have-
watch it.
I might have lost. But the last one, a competitive league for cooling down soup by blowing on it.
That
That can't
sounds...
be real. That can't be real.
No, that can't be real.
That
I'm
can't
not
be real.
gonna
That'd
even
be
look that one up.
stupid. Yeah.
That would be stupid.
The judges,
Fucking
like, they
idiots.
put their fingers in the soups. Like, this one's cold. We're going to win her.
They put it in a scalding hot. You didn't even
Ah!
fucking try.
Yeah. It's
You
fucking
idiot.
boiling. Magmar, you can't compete. You made the soup hotter.
You breathe fire.
You breathe fire. Oh, Magmar. Exactly. I want cheesy sitcoms starring Pokemon. Oh my god.
That's such a good idea. You know what's something that went by the wayside that I wish we brought back?
What?
Cheesy sitcom theme songs.
Yeah.
I want those back in full force.
Yeah, like where the theme would like play at different parts during it too, like the Seinfeld bass riffs.
No, I'm thinking like Full House. You got
Oh,
the whole
sure.
cast in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Shit
what
like
you meant.
that.
The really
classic.
cheesy opening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and there were so many had these like big cheesy openings. right?
Classic.
Cheers, Three's Company. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, ones that aren't like just pulling footage from the show. Where they went out and specifically shot the intro. I love that. That's my favorite.
They specifically shot the Pokemon intro. No, I guess it does. It pulls a lot.
No,
of footage
it's a
from
lot
episodes.
of
Yeah.
news footage. Anyway, before we get on another tangent, should we jump into Pokemon?
I want to talk about these episodes. Yes.
Yes,
The
me too.
friendship arc.
The end of the Indigo League.
Yes. The end of
Insane.
Friends.
Crazy. Been a long 40 weeks, but we are here.
It flew by. I can't
It did.
I can't believe it's gone this fast.
Crazy.
Imagine us back in January starting this podcast.
Oh,
What
so
young,
young.
souls we were. So
what young
naive.
idiots.
Head full of dreams.
Pockets full of bacon. It's
What are you referencing?
nothing.
That's
I
too
just-
random.
This
I
is
was
what
like,
came
that's
to
too
mind. I don't
random
know
not
why.
to be a weird Zoomer reference. Did Drake and Josh stick bacon in their pockets?
Yeah, what meme am I going to teach you today? We'll
Yeah,
find out.
Exactly.
Okay, so episode 80, A Friend Indeed. We start with a previously on Pokemon, where the
Mhm.
announcer actually has like a lot of cool things I didn't write down. I did write down they were in a Poke predicament. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I didn't dwell too much on the recap, basically catching us up to speed from the 4th round Rumble, where Ash almost loses to a Bellsprout that uses Judo, but then he wins.
Yep.
With
And
a
then-
mock.
And so they're gonna go eat in the present day now. Oak and Delia kind of beckon them off. Oak's
Yep.
very impressed with Ash for winning 4 battles, and Mom says she's gonna cook. But where's
Yeah,
she gonna
the
cook?
gang's starving, so they want to go out to dinner
Mm-hmm.
to celebrate. And Ash is he's saying he's going to pay for it because he eats for free. So, like, does that mean he's gonna, like, ask for one plate and then just, like, give them all food off his plate? Because that's not how that works, Ash.
I don't think that's how that works.
But Ash's mom is like, no, I'm here with my boy. Don't always see you. I am cooking. But they're like, okay, but where are you going to cook, Mom?
Delia is going to cook by commandeering a restaurant kitchen.
Yes, taking it over.
The chef says, the customers don't normally come cook in the kitchen. And Delia's like, well, they ought to try it.
Yeah, the gang's kind of embarrassed at first.
Yeah,
they're like,
so
what
embarrassed.
The fuck, Ash's mom? Why would you do? She just like storms this kitchen. But she makes an amazing meal full of delicacies and lots of it's like fried foods. But the gang loves it, and the chef's asking for recipes after.
Yeah. And the most important part of this is that Togepi and Pikachu are sitting in high chairs.
Oh, looks
so
like
cute.
he made them a custom little meal too.
So cute. I love it. I love it.
True. The only food item we get pointed out are Brock compliments the croquettes. Are you familiar with croquettes?
I know what those are. I can't place them right now.
So this is kind of like a curious thing. So they're basically like they're like fried potato. Like it's like almost like mashed potato, but it's not like a French fry. And then they like fry the whole thing so it's like soft on the inside, crispy on the outside. But the weird thing about it is like croquette, definitely like a French origin, right? But that style of croquette absolutely bonkers popular in Japan. It is like on the sides of buses, you'll see ads for croquettes. Like they love them there. And I remember I bought one from a supermarket thinking it was a chicken nugget and it was a potato, and I was so disappointed. I was like, this looks like fried chicken. Bam, it was potato.
Now I'm hungry. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, make some croquettes.
So Oak tells Ash, he reminds him if he wins the next battle, he'll be allowed to use up to 6 Pokemon per match. So I guess we're going to have another 3-on-3 to watch at some point here for Ash's 5th battle. Oak gives him the try your best and you'll always be a winner speech, whereas his mom tells him, oh, but you should still win.
Yeah, do your best, but win.
So they're getting into an elevator, and some kid from off screen is like, hey, hold the door. So they hold the door. They let him in. He seems to like Pikachu.
Yeah, he's touching Pikachu's face, and there's like
Pikachu
a point here where Ash is like, "Oh, Pikachu's gonna fuck you up," but he pets him and he's fine with it. So like, oh, he knows what he's doing with Pikachu's.
He seems to know how to raise a Pikachu. That's an interesting plot point.
And the
we
kid,
might see
like, later. The kid praises Ash's training, which like never heard anyone say that before. But
yeah, that's very true.
Development.
So in one of the most classic cliches in television history, the elevator breaks down while they're in it.
Of course.
And then the emergency call button's not going to work.
It isn't nearly as common in real life as TV would make you see. Because honestly, they're kind of scary.
Yeah. If you went off TV, you would expect elevators to break down like 50% of the time you use them.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time.
I like that Office episode where the elevator gets stranded and Dwight immediately starts pissing in the corner.
This kid starts fucking around with the control panel. Lucky he did not get electrocuted. He asks for Pikachu's help to help jumpstart the elevator by like connecting the wires to Pikachu. He shocks it, and this works.
Yeah, you can jumpstart the elevator.
I'm fine with allowing this one to pass.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It's all good. If there's any elevator mechanics in the comments, let us know how you feel about that scene. Would you like a Pikachu with you at work? Would that help?
Doing my reading after the episode, one of my favorite errors I've ever seen mentioned on Bulbapedia is, though the power goes out while the characters are in the elevator, when they emerge into the lobby, all the lights are on. However, everyone in the elevator assumes that the power went out when it could have just been the elevator that had broken down. Either way, elevators are never set on the same power groups in buildings as the main room.
Oh, that was detailed.
Someone really knows their elevators on Bulbapedia.
I didn't know that Pokemon fans had life skills. Hey-oh. Sorry, Kelly.
Anyway, so this kid and Ash formally introduce themselves to each other. This is Ritchie, and we're going to see him through the rest of the season here. Yeah. For the last 3 episodes.
Mature young boy, according to Oak.
Unlike Ash.
Yeah.
And then outside, over a loudspeaker in a van, 2 League officials, once again, instruct all trainers to bring their Pokeballs for immediate inspection at the pavilion. And then we look inside, it's Team Rocket, and James has a sweet mustache.
Now, this whole outfit thing, like this style of van with the megaphone on top, again, I'm drawing on that one time. I'm really being that guy who went to Japan once and is comparing everything. But like, these are insights I think that are relevant considering this is a Japanese show. This is actually a really common thing in Japan. So politicians, if you're there like during an election cycle or something, they drive around in vans that look like that, and they have megaphones on top, and they just like advertise things. Like they like yell out their campaigns. Or like there's a podcast I listened to that takes place in Japan, and there was one episode where they kept getting sounds.
Takes place in Japan? Do you mean it's
recorded
in Japan?
I've had a really long day. Thank you for noticing. Okay, so it's recorded in Japan, and in the back takes place and in the background, you could hear somebody like selling potatoes. Like
that's
a
awesome.
van was driving around like potatoes for sale. Like this is like a thing there.
That's awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesse and James are trying to collect all these trainers' Pokeballs. Jesse says, "Please put your balls in the bag held by this official-looking guy with the mustache." I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Official-looking guy.
Official.
And they collect all the trainers' Pokemon. Everybody falls for this. They try to pick up Pikachu. He does not like it. He fries them.
Get shot.
And it's not until James says the word Jesse that Ash realizes who these people are, even though the only disguise they have is James's mustache.
Yeah, but apparently that was working. It's actually
so
weird how, like, there were some previous episodes where Ash was finally, like, spotting them quicker. And we've really gone back to basics.
Yeah. And how did nobody recognize their hair? Like, any of these trainers. They all saw them at the opening ceremonies trying to screw everything up.
Yeah, I think we're done with Who's That Pokemon. Spot the known criminal who tries to steal shit from you every episode. How about that? That's the new game.
Their motto addiction comes back, though. Once Ash hasn't figured out who they are, they're like, oh, God. Oh, we gotta say it now. He knows.
Can't resist.
We gotta do
resist.
it. So they do the motto.
Yeah, Mel's driving. They say the chant. But yeah.
James has wheezing Smog up the place to distract everyone, and they drive off in the van. Ash gives chase, but he can't keep up. Ritchie also follows Ash, and they kind of start running down a mountain.
Yeah, they cut off the road. They're running down this mountain, but they're like, we could fall. But Ash
Ritchie is like that.
Ritchie stops, then he's stopping Ash. They slide right up to the cliff. The cliff. They could have died. The kids could have died. So irresponsible. Where are their parents?
Yeah. Come on. At the League Village.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Making fried food.
At least one of them is.
Making croquettes.
But I was like, wow, this is kind of like in the games when you have a ledge you can jump down.
Oh, and then
Crazy.
You can't get back up.
And you can't get back up.
The
wow,
one-way ledges from the games. I didn't
what
catch
a reference.
That. Right. Yeah.
I don't think that's what they were going for. But that's what it reminded me of.
It feels right. Yeah. Feels like in the spirit of it.
So yeah, Ritchie saves Ash from certain death by falling off a cliff. And Ash is pissed about this. He's not happy with Ritchie about this. So they slowly climb down the cliff instead. And meanwhile, Team Rocket's still driving along. They're singing the Bottles of Milk song in reference, but with Pokemon instead.
100 Pokemon in the bag, 100 Pokemon. Yeah, they're also, I like them kind of thinking they've won here. They're like, if first you don't succeed, lie and lie again. They got hundreds of balls, hundreds.
And so they're driving down the path when Ash and Ritchie jump out in front of the van, causing James to quickly steer off the road.
This was gutsy.
Down a cliff.
The kids jump right in front of the van. And I mean, I guess they just thought that anybody decent would stop or try to avoid them. But Team Rocket, in a pretty recent episode, did try to flamethrower Ash with the Mecha Grasshopper. Right? That was intent to kill. So I don't know why they thought that that Team Rocket would stop.
Especially if Meowth was driving, because he would just run them right the fuck over.
Right, he's the one who's really trying to prove to himself and to the others that evil pays.
So yeah, they drive off a cliff, and then James gets knocked out from the impact, which causes them to start careening down a river. And then we cut to nighttime. Where Ritchie and Ash are camping out, and Ash has come to realizing, you know what, you saved me from dying, so I guess I should apologize for being an asshole.
Yeah, you know what? dying wouldn't have been worth it. It's good to be alive, Ritchie.
He says, when it comes to Pokemon, I can get pretty crazy. And yeah, you're fucking telling me, Ash.
Yeah, they bond over Pokemania here, but yeah, Ash is self-aware there, kinda.
Yeah. They say they'll continue looking in the morning, and you know what would have been helpful in this search? If they hadn't just, like, run off, and they would have gotten Brock and Misty to help, because Brock has an Onyx and a Zubat that can scout the air. So,
And,
would have been helpful.
you know, the hundreds... Well, we don't know how many, but there's a lot of cops in the village.
That too. Yeah. Where are all the Jennies?
And the Jennies all have, like, sweet motorcycles. So.
Yeah. So, Team Rocket celebrate their victory with a little dance. The little dance and a party.
The biggest Poke Hall of all. We got Pokemon, yeah. We got Pokemon, yeah.
And so back to Ash and Ritchie. Ash seems to be struggling to fall asleep. Ritchie's looking for constellations of Pokemon. This is a fun, cute little moment.
This was nice little world building, and I could see, I hope that this gets touched on again in a future episode, actually, if there's like constellations of Pokemon in the stars, because that would be really cool. Like you could imagine that people, okay, like it wouldn't be like a bear that they would see out of a constellation of stars. It would be an Ursa ring or whatever that bear Pokemon is. Did I get it?
Ursa ring. Yep.
Exactly.
Good job. Congratulations.
Ooh.
No, yeah, you're right. It makes sense thematically that their constellations would be more in line with their world,
Yeah.
But
even if it was the same as star map that we have, like, which it doesn't need to be, but even if it was, you would think that you would impose Pokemon structures on it.
Mm-hmm. And so the two of them sort of reflect on their dreams in this moment. Ash says he's going to be the best trainer on the planet. And Ritchie's like, you can't be the best on the planet because I'm going to be the best in the galaxy. And Ash is like, I'm going to be the best in the universe then. So it's just two kids that are like constantly doing infinity plus one, infinity plus two.
Well, my dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah.
Well, but my dad can beat up all the dads. Oh, yeah, my dad can beat up all the dads and all the moms. Well, that's really weird, man. Your dad should get arrested. Aw. Too far.
And two stars in the sky do the little ding thing. And I thought this would like come back later. I think this is just supposed to be like representative of these two are gonna be stars someday together.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah,
I think
that works. I didn't really get it at all. I was like, and 2 meteors are headed for Earth. They will all be dead soon.
So the next day, Ash and Ritchie find some tire tracks, and they follow them to Team Rocket's mess of a camp, and they're asleep too, so they sneak into the van.
They partied. Team Rocket partied so hard, there's like food scraps around. They're just wiped out. That's hilarious.
Great. So they're in the van, and they're calling for Pikachu, and the muffled cries of Pikachu in the burlap sack is heartbreaking. Oh my god. But they find Pikachu and all the other Pokemon in this sack. And meanwhile, Team Rocket have woken up. They confront them at the door.
Look what creeped into our campsite. The only thing you're taking is a ride.
James hits him with the bye-bye, which was kind of ominous. And they stick him in the back of the van. They start driving off as some really cool music comes on. Ash can't find his Pokeballs in this mess of like 1,000 different Pokeballs that all look the same, except for Ritchie's. He has stickers on his Pokeball.
Yeah, Ritchie's are labeled. That was clever.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. This is kind of a precursor to something we'll see in Generation 4 with ball seals, which were a game mechanic where you could put little stickers on your Pokeball that would have effects as you send out your Pokemon, which was really cool, and I want them to bring that back.
Okay, I love that, but I just gotta say the phrase ball seal does sound like some kind of male birth control.
It's Pokemon prophylactics.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ash thinks he's found his Bulbasaur. So he sends out Bulbasaur, and it's someone else's Drowsy.
Yeah, and then he tries again. It's a Slowbro.
Slowbro. Then a Magikarp.
At first I was like, okay, but couldn't you ask the Drowsy for a favor? Like, you're in it together.
Yeah.
You're like, Drowsy, can you put the Team Rocket to sleep? Like, that would help.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Any of these Pokemon should be willing to help in the situation. But Pikachu sniffs out which Pokeballs belong to Ash, which is very cute. And so he gives Ash one of the Pokeballs, and Ash goes, "Go, whoever you are." I like that. That was good. And this is Bulbasaur.
His go-to. It is his go-to, Bulbasaur.
It is Bulbasaur. He tackles the wall, does nothing. So he has Bulbasaur Razor Leaf, also does nothing. And so Ritchie finally cuts in here. He's like, "Okay, fine, I'll do all the work here." go Zippo. Let me see. Zippo is a Charmander.
That's a sick name for a Charmander.
Zippo. Great. Named after the fucking lighter brand, I think.
Yes, it's a lighter brand, which is kind of weird for kids, but okay.
So he has Zippo go for a slash. It cuts right through the van, to which Team Rocket would reply with, "Hey, this is a rental."
This van is a rental. So then Pikachu thunderbolts, and James goes, turn attack. He swerves it.
Which throws Pikachu off balance. Arbok goes for the tackle. Jesse compliments his driving.
Nice driving. James goes, I should get a license.
That and turn attack had me actually laughing out loud. That was hilarious.
That was really funny.
That was good.
Yeah.
So Ritchie sends out Sparky next, who is his own Pikachu, which explains why he understood Ash's Pikachu.
Yeah, didn't see that one coming.
Insane.
Now, Sparky's got a great design. He looks like a Pikachu, but how would you describe that? He's got like a fluff of hair.
He's got a little tuft of hair. That's
it's really cute.
Yeah, and so Sparky goes to fight Arbok, but then the video on Pokemon.com got really fucked up, and I didn't know what was going on.
Sparky and Pikachu use agility.
Yeah, it comes back eventually, but it goes gray for a minute.
Wait, where were you watching? Pokemon TV?
Watch.pokemon.com.
I watched the same place. It worked for me.
Interesting.
But anyways, yeah, Sparky and Pikachu then use agility, and basically the Arbok is seeing like a whole bunch of them. Team Rocket is like, are there 2 or are there 20?
Oh, you missed a good line, though. Ritchie has Sparky go for agility, and then Ash tells Pikachu to go for agility in stereo, because there's 2 of them.
I missed that. Yeah,
That's good.
That is good.
So yeah, this makes Arbok very, very dizzy, and they go for the Thunderbolt, which cleanly blows off the front of the van.
The back is intact, though.
Sending Team Rocket blasting off again. The van, in another classic TV cliche, is heading towards a cliff. And we gotta figure out how to stop this. Oh my goodness. Ash has Pidgeotto, and Ritchie has Happy the Butterfree. Carry them to safety as like parachutes. And
Pokemon parachutes.
They lift up their trainer and their Pokemon, and they're falling too fast because they're too heavy towards the ground.
It's all those croquettes.
So both Pokemon do a whirlwind towards the ground to soften the landing, which I thought was actually very smart.
Yeah, and Ash and Ritchie then just start complimenting each other. Oh, you did so great. Oh, no, you did so great.
You. Stop it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. As everyone else comes driving up.
In a squad of Jeeps.
I was kind of expecting, because Ash is holding the burlap sack full of stolen Pokeballs. I was kind of expecting them to get surrounded by cops being like, put your fucking hands up, because they didn't realize that Ash wasn't the one that stole it.
We found the Pokemon. You're under arrest, kids. and then the next episode of this arc is Ash and Ritchie in jail, and they're trying to break out. It's like a Shawshank Redemption kind of parody. Ash has like a spoon. He's chipping away at the rock.
But they have to do it before their match starts at the stadium. So, back at the league, it's Ash's turn to figure out who he's going to face in his next match. And in order to figure out who his opponent's going to be, what do? They go fishing.
Yeah. Kind of carnival.
What the fuck is this?
Kind of carnival. But these are actual live, full-grown Magikarps that just have the match identifiers on them.
Yeah, this is weird. Is that just another one of the horribly inconvenient,
you thought that Simon Says
matchmaking
randomizer
systems
was stupid. Now they're fishing.
So dumb. So he fishes up a Magikarp. It says A3 on it, I think. A3. We learn that his next opponent is going to be
none other
Ritchie.
Than Ritchie. Oh my God.
And then we get like a moment of despair, as if this is a match to the death and only one of them will come out alive.
It did have a Hunger Games feel.
Yeah.
Oh no. Will Katniss come out or will her friend?
And meanwhile, Team Rocket are stuck in a tree. And that's the episode.
How can we feel so low and we're up so high? Okay, so we are jumping into the literary hour. This is where we'll do a quick literary analysis, try to compare it to something. And, this is always a disaster, but we have fun. So the trope is from tvtropes.com, the fire-forged friends, where you make a new friend and then you really bond with them over some kind of crisis, right? This is a super common trope. From literature, this is much more common in sort of like pulp kind of stuff. So TV is very common. In literature, I can think of situations like in Harry Potter. So when, well, this is really literature, but books. When Harry and Ron, they first become friends with Hermione during the whole troll situation.
Mhm.
And also thinking of Gimli and Legolas, Dollar in the Jar from Lord of the Rings. They're from two races, don't exactly get along, but they really bond over the whole War of the Ring and that sort of thing. But the thing I'm going to go with, sometimes I like to take a detour away from books and pick a story from real life. Okay, so this is a story I found on ABC April 10th, 2013, when in Georgia, the Noah's Ark Animal Rescue, okay? So they recovered from a drug dealer, and that is all the details of where they found these animals. From a drug dealer, they recovered a bear cub, a tiger cub, and a lion cub, okay? And
Aw.
they were being abused by this drug dealer together. And then flash forward like 10 years later, these three animals are like best friends. They like live
Oh,
together and they like
I love it.
cuddle. And so they are a friendship. The bear, the tiger, and the lion were forged by the fires of the crisis of whatever this that's the part that I don't get. What was this drug dealer doing with a tiger cub?
When was this?
Well, the story
Did
is
you
from
say?
2013, but they were saying it was 10 years earlier, so like 2003?
I don't think that could have been a Tiger King wannabe.
Yeah, no, this is pretty
Mm.
old school. I mean, they had bears and lions, a real innovator.
I fucking love stories like that of unlikely animals becoming friends. It's so cute.
Oh,
It's so
cute.
adorable.
It's really cute. So that's
all
literature.
my thoughts on that. Yeah. It's cute. It's fucking cute. That's all I
Yeah,
can
it's
say.
a good squad. Good job,
Yeah.
boys.
All right, shall we rate?
Yes, and now the other exercise we do at the end of episodes, the 4-pour, the plastic ping pong pitcher of objective ratings. We're going to pull out the 2 categories from random and rank the episode based on that.
All right, first category for a friend indeed will be the perceived smell of the episode.
Well, we're in the woods, right?
Mhm. So very naturey.
We've got the canned food that Ritchie and Ash eat. I don't know if it was beans or tuna or what.
But we have the fried food that Delia
the
made.
fried food
The
was
really
great
good
smell.
food. So that bumps it up.
Yeah. We have Delia herself. She smells good, right, Kelly?
I'm not gonna go there.
We've got the explosion of the van. The front half of the
Gasoline
van.
is a weirdly good
Very
smell.
gasoline.
So I'm gonna bump it
intense,
up there.
fiery smell. This is a good smelling episode, actually.
I think the League building probably smells pretty good. They probably have a good cleaning staff on there on a regular basis.
That's right. Now, don't make this creepy, but I bet you that Sparky smells good. That's all. Like if you smelled his head, like a
Sure.
baby, but she smells good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 7.
I'm gonna go 8. The fried
Okay.
food. The fried food. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. So 7.5 for perceived smell. Second category will be the Pokemon cries.
Okay, so that's like the sounds of that the Pokemon make in the episode.
Yeah, that's like only Sparky aside from the gangs from like Ash's Pokemon.
Well, we probably get a Charbok and a Weezing.
That's true.
I mean, Arbok is good, but come on.
Weezing. Weezing's also good. I
those
like
are good.
Weezing.
Yeah, very good.
Sparky's is like Pikachu's, but like a little higher pitched.
Right. Right.
Nothing special though. I
mean, it's typical. It's not. There's no premiere of a Pokemon here, so I'll go 5 at max.
I was thinking 4 and 5. 4.5, 7.5. That is 12. 6 flat for a
6
friend
flat.
indeed.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, not a bad episode, but will the next episode be better? Because it's
Ooh.
episode 81, friend and foe alike.
The second episode of our 3-part friendship arc. Okay, this again starts with a recap of the episode we just recapped, so we'll go into that. But the situation is, Ash and Ritchie are going to have to fight to the death with sharpened spoons as their only weapons.
Mhm.
It will be brutal.
Can their friendship survive the struggle the narrator contemplates when they've known each other for like a day?
Yeah. This is like one of the first times, though, like, Ash found someone who's really like himself, you know?
Yeah.
It was an intense new friendship. Kind of starting off the episodes, it's nighttime. Ash is like kind of bummed to fight a friend, right? He's feeling sorry for himself.
Yeah, he's like, why is this happening to me? Why me? Ash, you're the main character.
Ash is a drama queen, eh?
Ash, you're the main character. This always happens to the
You're
main
the
character.
main character.
That's how it works.
It's like you don't have main character syndrome. You actually are the main character.
Yeah, so he's feeling sorry for himself. He's very upset about this. And as Misty is Facebook stalking Ritchie to find out more about him.
Yeah, there's apparently a database of like the trainers who are competing. So she's looking up his data online. But that is more what it looked like. She was like, and here's a picture from last year when he was at the beach.
So they find out that Ritchie, in his first 4 matches, didn't lose a single Pokemon.
Ooh, what a champion.
And he only ever fought with Charmander, Butterfree, and Pikachu. The only 3 Pokemon we've seen to this point.
Brock's like, he's almost just like you, Ash, given the Pokemon choices. And Ash is like, I'm just as good as Ritchie. And Misty hits him with a big one. Must be nice to dream while you're wide awake. Oh.
Whoa!
Oh.
Interestingly, Brock is like analyzing Ritchie's team. He's like, oh, Charmander's a flame type. No, it's a fire type. Brock, come on.
Oh, he says
you know
flame type?
He says flame type.
I didn't even catch that. I was like, I knew what that meant. But yeah, I know. Pokemon's very specific about typings.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't no flame type.
Bullshit. So at the center, presumably later on, Ritchie's picking up his Pokemon, and Ash and Ritchie exchange pleasantries.
Yeah,
they vow to fight each other hard and not go easy on each other.
It's kind of awkward, actually, when they bump into each other.
Yeah.
They're like, you ready for the big match? It's kind of like, if you like bump into someone the next day after you were like out drinking, right? It's like totally different seeing things in the daylight. You're like, oh, that was a crazy party. Right?
Oh, you look like shit. Oh, God.
Oh, God. I didn't puke anywhere, did I? Actually, you did. You did. You puked everywhere. It's horrible. But they promised to make the battle the best as can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ritchie's got a positive attitude. He's a nice, counterweight for Ash. Like, he pulls Ash out of kind of his funks.
And so Ash gets his Pokemon back as well as Team Rocket is spying in. Of course they are. And they're talking about how quickly Ritchie and Ash became friends. And Jessie says, there was something that prevented me from having friends when I was little. To which James hits her back with the, that must have been your personality. Which is true, because Jessie's quite unbearable.
Well, she's something.
She's something, all right. They're all unbearable in real life. They're great characters, but I cannot spend an hour with any of them.
Including the heroes, to be honest.
They all suck. Everyone sucks in this universe.
Oh, except for Pikachu.
Pikachu's great. I'd hang out with Pikachu.
Yeah, I'd hang out with Pikachu.
Yeah. And I'd
hang out with Delia.
Yeah, of course, I knew you were going there.
She's a good person.
I didn't say it because I knew you would.
Anyways.
So yeah, Jessie smacks James over the head with a fan, which is fun. He gets brutally injured. And so...
yes, that's fun. Abuse.
And so back at their house in the village, Ritchie calls Ash on the phone. Misty picks it up, and Ritchie just lays into her. He's like, don't be such a fucking loser. Go get Ash. Fuck you, Misty.
He's like, listen up, you little suspender-wearing freak. I've had about enough of your red hair, you bitch.
And we learn from the other end of this call, oh, goodness, this is Jessie using a voice modulator. Oh,
yeah.
Who could have seen that one coming?
It's that technology they used way back to become Jennies, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And so they tell Ash that he has something to tell him about Pikachu, that he needs to come out front and he needs to bring Pikachu with him. That's not suspicious at all.
I know. Like, come on, Ash. So gullible. Why wouldn't he at least be like, why isn't it something you can tell me over the phone?
Right? Oh, my God. So Ash finds Ritchie. He has Pikachu with him. He finds a very real Ritchie standing in the forest in the dark. He's definitely not a puppet.
Extremely real Ritchie.
Mm-hmm. And he suddenly gets netted by Team Rocket, who then do the motto, of course.
Yeah, do the chant, blah, blah, blah. The phony friend dial-a-twerp decoy call worked like a charm. Jessie thinks it's because she's so charming. She also has this moment, like, before that, where she's, like, kind of laughing to herself about how good of an act she put on. She's like, a leading lady who does character roles. I should have my own show. And I'm torn on that. I don't. You kind of do have your own show. You're a regular. I don't know.
But then James and Meowth both like shrug to the camera, and you get that sound effect that. It's great.
Yeah.
But they also talk about how Ash is brainless for falling for this trick, and then Meowth's like, wait, but if that kid's brainless, and beats us every time. How brainless are we?
That's great.
And then Jesse and James
The
are like,
elf
don't say
master.
that in front of the torp.
Yeah, you're letting our edge reveal.
Don't let him hear it. And so they throw Ash Pikachu into the back of a truck and they drive off. Another vehicle for Team Rocket here. Brock and Misty are worried about this. They think Ash maybe went to the stadium with Ritchie afterwards, but his match starts in 30 minutes.
Match in 30 minutes. So what's Ash going to do? Can he get there in 30 minutes?
This is also such a cliche.
Oh yeah,
of television
and
shows.
It's, honestly, this feeling though is a little bit nightmarish. It's like that, and I don't mean like horrifying or anything, but like, do you ever have those dreams where you're like trying to get somewhere but you can't?
Oh, God,
That's kind of what this felt like.
Ever since I can remember, I cannot run in my dreams at all.
Yeah,
I keep
that's the
tripping. I
thing.
constantly trip.
That is a thing.
It sucks. I hate it. And then I can't like stand up. I can't get up. I don't have the strength to get back on my feet. And it's just the worst.
So yeah, this had that like reoccurring sort of themes in a dream feel. Now we cut to the van and it's flooding.
This was brilliant, honestly, from Ash. He has Squirtle flooding the back of the truck, which causes the front of the truck to flood as well, causing James to crash into a tree, bursting the truck open, including the back of the truck, and Ash and the Pokemon escape.
And that's it, right? He's
That
free.
was smart. Well, yeah, because we go to the arena next.
Crowd's going wild.
The match should be beginning any second now. Ritchie enters.
Yeah.
We go back to Ash. He's running back towards the arena. But Team Rocket is chasing them while doing a balancing act on the tires and axle of the car.
Yeah, so like last episode, we got a van exploding where just the front got taken out. And now we have it's like 2 wheels on an axle. And they are just like 3-man unicycle style rolling it towards. It's frankly extremely impressive.
Very, very good. And so Ash has Bulbasaur Vine with him and Pikachu Thundershocks, and then he keeps running off to the stadium. But then Team Rocket's back on bikes this time.
Oh my god, it's just like Land of the Living Dead here. Like, they won't stop. They keep coming back.
I wanted more of this, though, honestly. I wanted them to keep getting beat and then coming back on more and more absurd vehicles.
And weirder ways.
Like, get them on a fucking electrode next. Somehow they got an electrode, now they're running on that
and they're
thing.
rolling on the electrode, and then, okay, it gets blown up, so then, okay, yeah. And now they're, like, getting pulled in by a swarm of wild bee drills or something, yeah.
And then they're on stilts for no fucking reason.
Yes, these Team Rocket Turbo stilts are doing great.
That sounds like a line they would say.
It does.
So, yeah, they're back on the bikes. Weezing smogs up the area as Weezing does.
Give us that Pikachu.
And they give Ash an ultimatum. They're like, okay, you can either give us Pikachu or you're going to miss your match. Which is it going to be? It's a real Sophie's choice, you know?
Right. Wait, you actually used a movie reference cliche.
Yeah.
Kind of correctly.
Go me.
Now, it's supposed to be used for much more severe circumstances, but yes, I think it is about lose-lose situations. So
Ash, in this moment, sees the unattended bikes, and thinking back to that, was it first or second episode? Second episode. Harkening back to the very start of the series, he sees himself and what's inside of himself, and he remembers at his core, he is a bicycle thief. So he grabs one of the bikes, he goes.
I might not be the world's greatest Pokemon master, but I am the world's greatest bicycle thief.
Damn, can I steal a bike?
Damn, can I rip off a bike? Yeah, and Team Rocket's like, we're the thieves around here.
I believe this is a direct callback to that episode where he steals Misty's bike, because he says, I'm not stealing, I'm just borrowing. I'm pretty sure that's a line from that episode.
Tell that to Misty again, Ash.
Yeah.
Heard it before.
Yeah, he could have just brought Misty this bike.
Yeah, stole you a bike. Oh, thanks.
So at the stadium, Ash is still nowhere to be seen. And if he doesn't show up, the match will automatically be forfeited.
Ooh,
and Ritchie will take the crown here.
Yeah.
And so Misty storms onto the field and confronts Ritchie about what he said on the phone. She thinks that he's the reason that Ash has gone missing. And Ritchie's like, what phone call? I didn't do a phone call. And oh my god, a misunderstanding is cleared up in a TV show. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Three's Company, are you taking notes? I just, for that part, I wrote down Misty. Truth. Whoa. Also, like in the stands, Ash's mom and Oak are worried, but Oak's like, he's probably in trouble, but also he'll be fine.
Yeah. So Ash is still biking when he gets caught by a claw this time from the Team Rocket
This is a
balloon.
pretty zany. They show up with like one of those claw machines.
The claw.
Yeah, the claw. Hey, second Toy Story reference today.
So he has Pidgeotto and Pikachu team up, just like the good old days, to fry Team Rocket, blows the basket up somehow, specifically the basket.
Yeah, that's it.
Sending Team Rocket falling to their doom.
They're dead.
Pikachu is exhausted, though. This
he's
pooped
so
him
tired.
out, and he and Ash has Pidgeotto pull the balloon towards Indigo Stadium.
He's like, this is a good enough mode of travel. Just Pidgeotto, can you augment it? We'll get there.
And so the judges have determined that the match goes to Ritchie.
Yeah, technical knockout. Ash ain't showing up. Ritchie's like, please just wait longer. Promise, just what can you do? So he slips the ref $100. Ref is like, okay, 10 more minutes.
And then 10
Oak's
minutes
impressed.
later.
Yeah, and then it's just like, Ash is getting closer. 10 minutes later, the ref comes back up. Look, kid, money's not going to do it. We got to get this show on the road.
And so, yeah, they're about to declare it a forfeit when Ash comes flying in. He's like, hey, Ritchie, how you
Battle
doing?
music kicks in. Ash arrives.
Like, Ash and Pikachu hit the ground, and then Pidgeotto just hits the ground with a thud.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Pidgeotto. Oh, my God.
I know. Just smoke.
Poor thing.
And Ash's mom has a great line here. Apologize to the crowd for being late.
Punctuality is an important trait in a human being, Ash. Come on.
I didn't raise you to be late.
I raised you to have clean underwear.
Yeah, that's all we know about her parenting, Ash.
So it's battle time now. We're going to start off with Happy the Butterfree versus Squirtle, and they exchange blows. It's a very fast-paced
Yeah, they just start
fight
punching each other.
Yeah. To where finally Happy hits a sleep powder, and Squirtle falls asleep and is out of the battle.
Hit me with the that's not how it works in the games, Kelly.
It's not how that works in the games. You'll wake up eventually.
Right. So sleep just makes you unable to attack, and then the other Pokemon can attack. It doesn't disqualify you. Otherwise, it would be the most OP move ever.
It's so
But
OP,
it's a single
yeah.
knockout. Yeah.
Yeah, so in the games, you go to sleep for 1 to 5 turns, and you'll wake up randomly at some point. In Gen 1, I believe it was like 2 to 7 turns.
Oh, wow, 7 turns.
And also, when you wake up, you spend the turn waking up. So you can't make a move on that turn either.
Yeah.
Sleep was fucking broken in Gen 1.
I do seem to remember the whole Pikachu woke up. You're like, oh, okay.
And then with how Generation 1's AI cheats, and it knows what you're going to do before it makes its move, the AI can tell if you wake up in that turn and just put you right back to sleep in that same turn.
Oh, so they actually have the AI like read what you're gonna do,
Yeah,
and then like counter choose.
Yeah, if you switch from like Golem to Pidgeot, the AI will know you're going to do that and go for like a Thunderbolt, even though the Pokemon that was out at the time would be immune.
Especially in the earlier days of video games, that is how they made AI more difficult, because it's like, we've come a long way and there are pretty good technologies now, but even still, they take a lot of computing power. Sometimes instead of making the enemy program more intelligent, they can just have it cheat, and it kind of accomplishes the same thing.
It's such bullshit, though.
Yeah,
Oh
I know.
God.
I know.
So yeah, in the anime universe, I don't understand why sleep is allowed in any regulated battle. This is fucking overpowered.
It's an instant knockout.
It's broken. Oh my God.
Right,
Not
so
okay.
Squirtle's out of it because of a weird technicality.
Why isn't everyone just using sleep moves?
And in the next match, we've got Butterfree versus Pikachu. Pikachu just jumps in from the sidelines.
Yeah, and Ash is like, oh my God, Pikachu, I thought you were too tired, which I thought too. Oh my God. And so Pikachu
He's like,
jumps
I had a
in.
5-hour energy, I'm good.
He hits Butterfree with a double edge and then grabs its foot as Butterfree flies up in the air. Pikachu thunderbolts it, and Butterfree is out already. It's down
Pikachu
to 2-2.
is tired now, though. He does look tired.
And we get some intense music. Ritchie's going to fight fire with fire. No, you're not, Ritchie. You're going to fight electricity with fire because you go for Zippo.
I know. I thought that meant he was using, what's his name? Sparky, but no.
Pikachu dodges Zippo's flamethrower, but he's also getting way too tired.
Yeah,
he
good sweat drop. And then Charmander, the Zippo, follows it up with a tackle.
He charges at Pikachu, and I loved this little bit of animation because it's so fast. And his stubby little legs, he's moving so quickly. Go, Zippo, go. Love
Turbo attack.
And he tackles Pikachu down,
Poor
knocking Pikachu out. It's 2-1 in Richie's favor now.
Mm-hmm.
And Ash contemplates. He, for the first time in 81 episodes, thinks about type matchups. And he says, I can't use Bulbasaur against a fire Pokemon.
Right.
And so he goes with Charizard.
Yeah, he's like, I know it's risky, but he's in full Shonen mode where he's like, you know what? And he has been this whole tournament where he's like, my heart will overcome my brains,
Mhm.
right? If I believe, I will perceive and achieve. Ash is writing a self-help novel. He is going to take the swing into the bleachers and go with Charizard.
I'm glad he thought about type matchups one time ever. But this was also a stupid decision because Ritchie has used the same 3 Pokemon in every fight. You know his third Pokemon is going to be his Pikachu, which Charizard is weak to. Where's Muck in here? Where did Muck go? Use Muck here. That's your choice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Kingler
Idiot.
would have been bad too because of that upcoming Pikachu.
Mm-hmm. But Muck's neutral to both of them, so it would have been the best matchup. But it's not going to matter anyway. We'll see why. So
No,
Charizard
we'll see
comes
why.
out.
Yeah, well, Zippo just like runs away, and then Ritchie retreats him,
Yeah, which is weird.
which is weird. They don't actually fight.
Yeah, no, because also a retreat is counted as a loss in
Right.
here, which is dumb. Because like Ritchie, your Zippo still can fight. Why not fight to the point where he can't fight anymore? Knock down health of the other Pokemon. It's just logical.
I know.
doing?
He's like, oh, Zippo's scared.
Mhm.
Okay. But Ash is celebrating. He's like, oh my god, Charizard is listening to me. Oh no, Ash. Oh no. Oh,
You didn't even
sweet
give it a
prince.
command.
Yeah, you didn't say shit.
So yeah, he nearly roasts the shit out of Charmander. That's what I was trying to say. Before Ritchie recalls him, and then he goes for Sparky. It's time for Sparky versus Charizard. It's 1-1.
Is this
going to
be a Pikachu barbecue? The announcer
So,
says.
This is where Charizard stomps the ground as like a little mini earthquake, and then
flaps
blows
the wings. He's
blows
puffing his
Sparky
chest
away.
out kind of thing, yeah.
Sparky starts running at Charizard, but Charizard has decided it's nap time.
Yeah, and when he was flapping his wings, he's really testing the ground there. I guess he thought the Charmander being of his kin was a worthy adversary, but he's already decided that Sparky bores him.
Yep, that's Oak's theory.
Yep.
In the stands, yeah. And here, Oak also refers to Charmander as a flame type instead of a fire type. Come on, Oak, you're better than that.
Okay. I guess the same person wrote both lines.
Yeah. I can excuse Brock because he's a stupid kid, but Oak, you're a seasoned professor. You should be better at this, whatever.
Maybe it's a difference of between the math department and the engineering department. They'll have the same things, but they'll call them different names.
Yeah.
Oh, a flame is what they call it in that department.
And so the ref calls it. Since Charizard refuses to battle, he's out, and Ritchie is the winner. Ash has lost the league. He's out completely. He's very sad about this.
When Charizard is sleeping, the crowd is freaking out, and they have Texan accents.
What the fuck are you doing?
Hey, what's the deal here? That's what they were like. Hey,
Trading
I
your
want my
Pokemon."
money back. It was crazy.
Ash gives Ritchie a hearty congratulations about this, and Brock says they both look like winners to me as the emotional music swells. It's beautiful. And the narrator tells us that Ash's adventures in the league may have come to an end, but his dreams persist, burning brighter than ever. And that's the episode.
All right. So Literary Hour actually had troubles with this one, even though there are definitely strong tropes here, with the trying to get there in time and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So all I could kind of get to was sort of that good versus good, like brother fighting brother. So this would be cliches from a lot of Marvel movies do this. So Captain America Winter Soldier, where Captain America and then his friend Bucky comes back, spoilers, but they have to fight. And then in Les Mis, right, we've got Jean Valjean and Javert. They're both sort of on what they see as the good side. They both kind of have a similar goal, but they're on opposing forces of that. Javert being the cop, he needs to bring in Jean Valjean. Jean Valjean is a reformed criminal. He does not, should not go to jail for the extreme thing of just stealing a loaf of bread, and he's doing so much good in the community. And this is where there's this tension, but they have actually similar goals of wanting to do what's right and what's right for France and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got this time was Les Mis.
More than I would ever give you. So
Oh, you never know. You don't have a Bible story for me?
I
You
don't
have
think
the
I
time
do.
Moses and Aaron had to play cards in front of the the Egyptian pharaoh to set the people free.
The first thing that came to my mind was in Full House,
Okay,
of
okay.
course, when
Now we're cooking.
when before his wedding, Jesse wanted one last big adventure, and so
Okay.
he went skydiving and got caught in a tree and arrested, and he was struggling to make it back to his wedding
Oh,
on
and he
time.
could barely get back in time to the wedding. Nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Full House. I love it.
But there wasn't like a specific time limit. Like he wasn't going to lose his wife over this. It's not
Actually,
a perfect
you
reference.
know what? Now that you mention that, that is a really common usage of this trope, is trying to get to weddings.
Mm-hmm.
That is totally a thing. They do that in Scrubs as well. Like Turk misses his wedding ceremony or something because of an operation, but then he gets to the dance and stuff. Something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while. Oh, he goes to the wrong church. That's what happens. Spoilers.
I think one of the biggest tropes ever in TV history is just weddings going wrong.
Yeah. That's
blank,
true.
Point blank. That's it. Yeah, and
It
it
is.
annoys me because it's like, oh, this is so tired now. Can we just get like a good wedding episode? Nothing
No,
has
you're
to.
right.
Like,
How I Met Your
fuck
Mother
up.
did that. The Office did that.
Friends did that with Phoebe's wedding.
Friends did that. Yeah,
Notably,
that is a
Monica and
cliche.
Chandler's wedding went off pretty well, but
Emily
still.
and Ross's wedding.
Emily and Ross's wedding. Yeah, that's the big one. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's all about weddings.
It's all about weddings. All right.
Except not in Pokemon.
Not yet. There might be someone
Let's
somewhere.
rank this episode. When Pikachu and Bulbasaur get married, I always knew there was love.
So cute. All right. First character, or blah, 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 blah. First category is going to be character of the day. Now, Ritchie will show up in the next 2 episodes as well, or in the next episode as well. But I think we count Ritchie.
I think
as
it's
this.
Ritchie. Yeah, you're right. I think it's Ritchie and his Pokemon, actually. If we count them all together as sort of like a squad. And if you do count them together as a squad, they're pretty likable. I do like Ritchie. Yeah, he's a nice foil for Ash because he's like a kind of a more well-grounded Ash. He's a little bit less like up and down, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely like him. He's a solid contrast, and Sparky's little tuft of hair is
adorable.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's an 8 for me.
Yeah, it's an 8 for me, dog.
Beautiful. 8 and 8. Second category for friend and foe alike will be the originality of the episode.
We just went on and on about how it reminded us of every sitcom wedding episode.
Yeah.
But okay, is it original for a Pokemon episode?
Team Rocket screws everything up.
That's not original.
No, that's not original.
Have we had a problem of Ash trying to get somewhere in time yet?
I don't think so. Nothing's had
Or
a
actually, Ash
strict
having
time
like
limit.
a loss is not that normal, is it?
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't lose very much.
Especially for something really built up. It was kind of an interesting turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's tropey as heck, but it is sort of a new pace for Pokemon.
And Team Rocket's like plans aren't particularly repetitive. Like they don't use a hole or a vacuum. Like they have the wheel axle and the bikes.
Well, they're in their
and the
van
claw.
arc. They're in their rented van arc. Their rental van. The rental van saga.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad on originality. I'm gonna say like 6.
Yeah, same. So
Okay,
same.
cool,
Yeah.
easy. So
It's
that's
not,
a.
it doesn't hit it out of the park, but it is doing something new.
So last episode was a 6. This one's a 7. Are we gonna go to an 8 in the
if we can
final
roll
episode?
a 6, 7, 8, I will explode with happiness.
In the final episode of the Indigo League, it's friends to the end. Let's get into it. Final episode.
They
oh my
are
goodness.
friends to the end.
So we get a previously on Pokemon again, where it's
they
basically
recap.
previously on Pokemon. Ash lost. Haha, get fucked, loser.
It shows us the Charizard fiasco. Last time on Pokemon, Charizard takes a nap and Ash dies inside.
You're not wrong. That is pretty much the entire episode.
Charizard is put to sleep, just like he puts Ash's hopes and dreams to rest.
Heyo. But in this recap flashback thing, I noticed the scoreboard when Ritchie won said that Ritchie had 2 Pokemon left, which was not the case. It was a 1-to-1 fight. Come on.
So does that mean that Charmander was still available?
No, because in the actual episode, I'm pretty sure
it shows it.
it
as
showed
a
that he
loss.
only had 1 Pokemon. Yeah, they just fucked it up in the recap somehow.
Weird.
Yeah. But at the house, Ash is mourning his loss.
Ash
he won't
is
even eat.
pouting. He is so sad. Pikachu's worried.
Brock puts it very bluntly. He's like, he's depressed. He feels like a loser. Thanks, Brock.
I do like it because everybody else is kind of like,
skirting around it.
Kind of skirt. Yeah, they're touch and go, and Ash not really sure. He feels like a loser.
Which he should.
And Misty's like, well, he made it to the 5th round, which was like pretty good. Mm-hmm. So she's trying to talk to him, like, you want to get some food? You want to go for a walk? You want to get some souvenirs? Shopping. And she starts getting ticked off, right? She's like, come on, I'm trying to do good here. Ash is like, leave me alone. Just trying to help, Misty says.
So yeah, they're fighting. Pikachu is mediating, which is great. Love that from Pikachu. Misty gives Ash a total reality check. She's like, you should not have even won any of these fights. You got through because you were lucky. But the way you were training, you should have gone out the first round. Yeah. And Oak is like, yeah, she has a point, Ash.
She has an absolute point.
You kind of suck.
Train. You got to learn from your disappointments. And you
got way too cocky.
Gary lost out on the 4th. And Gary had so many, more evolved, stronger looking Pokemon.
Yeah. And Pikachu electrocutes everybody because they keep fighting. He's annoyed by it. And it's time for the next battles to begin. We see on the TV. So we cut to the locker room where Ash, Brock, and Misty go to meet Ritchie.
Did you get the feeling like when Pikachu shocks everyone that like Pikachu's shock like turned on the TV?
Yeah,
that's what it kind of felt like to me.
That was strange.
Kickstarted the TV.
But in the locker room, Brock reminds Ritchie, hey, you can use 6 Pokemon now. And Misty tells him not to choke like Ash did. Ooh. With Ash right there. Ouch.
Ash lets it slide. Basically, him and Ritchie do have a moment, though. You're awesome, Ritchie. You can do it. And Richie's going to win for the both of us. So he kind of knows like what this means for Ash.
And so on the field, we see in little snippets, it's Zippo versus a Rhydon. Horrible matchup. Butterfree versus Venomoth. Better matchup. And Spearow versus Tentacool. And we don't know whose is whose.
Okay, we don't know whose is whose. You're right. I sort of was like, the way they were revealing them, I was like, I guess the Spearow is Ricky's, but you don't know. Yeah.
But Tentacool also uses Bubble, which Tentacool cannot use until Gen 5. So come on.
Again, telling the future.
You could maybe argue it's Bubble Beam, but I would say, what the fuck were you watching? That is not a beam of bubbles. It is just bubbles.
That was clearly not a bubble beam. Excuse me.
Actually.
Well, actually. Are we supposed to believe that those bubbles were in some sort of a beam?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it shows that they're down to 1 Pokemon left is where they kind of cut in.
Versus whoever this girl is. We don't know her.
No, her name's Assunta.
We learn, yeah. And so the gang's cheering on Ritchie from the stands, and Assunta uses Ivysaur. It's versus Sparky, of course. And Ivysaur charges, Sparky dodges it. Ivysaur trips Sparky. He gets up, tries to Thunder Shock, but Ivysaur's dodging, deflects it with the Vine Whip. And then this is awesome. Ivysaur uses Vine Whip to launch itself in the air and land a Solar Beam right in Sparky's face. That was sweet.
Point blank. Boom!
It was awesome. And then he tackles Sparky, knocks him out. Ritchie has lost to Assunta.
Ritchie is down. Assunta is the victor.
Incredible.
And will also be the new protagonist. Ash is not in the show anymore. All hail Assunta and Ivysaur.
That would have been kind of neat as a thing
if it just picks
the anime.
The new character.
Yeah, like
to really reinforce that we only support winners here on Kids TV. We're following Assunta.
The character that originally beats the main character, moves on and becomes the main character. That'd
becomes
be
the protagonist.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. So anyway, the gang is in total shock. They're like, "Oh my god, how could this have happened? No, hey, Ritchie, you failed us." And then they go to a lake where Ritchie is contemplating things. Ash approaches Ritchie. And Ritchie says they now have one more thing in common because they're big fucking losers. Hey-o.
Yeah. Right.
And so Pikachu and Sparky play with each other. It's fucking
so
adorable.
Cute.
So cute. Oh my god.
They're like puppy dogs.
Yeah, it's adorable. I love it. I want more of this. But of course.
And Ritchie, says you can learn a lot by losing. And that's sort of the important theme that Oak was saying as well. It's like, Ash, if you keep getting lucky, you're not going to be forced to truly learn. And you're lacking on a lot of fundamental skills.
Yeah, that's like the main theme of this episode is Ash
Yeah.
learning how to lose, basically.
Yeah, how to lose, how to cope with disappointment, but also like how to look at what like success and loss like actually are, right?
And
Like
grow from
how
it.
they're two sides of the same sort of coin, and
Mhm.
and what actually leads to outcomes, and then to like evaluate and to grow. Good lesson.
And so, of course, Team Rocket is spun in on here. They've got
Mhm.
shovels this time, so I wonder where that
Yeah.
could lead us.
Yeah, they're in the bushes with shovels. They're like, look, we did the van thing. We're going back to basics. It's shovel time, baby.
We got too fancy. We need a hole.
Good old-fashioned shovels.
Richie and Ash talk. Richie was too sure he could win. He got too confident, and so now he knows what mistakes to learn from. Ash, in this, realizes this is where he realizes he's been a gigantic baby, and that he needs to buckle up and learn how to lose and learn how to learn from his losses to become a stronger trainer.
You know, I wrote down the same thing. Does he literally say I've been a big baby? Because I wrote down, I've been a big baby.
Yes, I think he does, yeah.
Okay.
And so Richie and Ash promise to each other to become Pokemon masters no matter what.
No matter what, even if we have to kill someone, even if we have to perform perjury, even if we have to steal children from their parents.
Maybe some light treason.
Yeah. Even if we have to whistle blow on the government.
And they scream this out over the lake. They're like, we'll be Pokemon masters! No matter what! Ah! And then Pikachu and Sparky fall in a hole.
Yeah.
As do Ash and
Ritchie run after them, fall into a hole as well.
It wouldn't be the Indigo League without one last Team Rocket hole. Oh, really tying it around together. Beautiful.
Stop talking about Team Rocket's holes.
Well, they're going to talk about it. Team
We're gonna
Rocket,
talk about
after
their
the
holes,
motto, after the motto says, the pit is it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. And then I hope Graham writes down James's line here because it was way too long.
Yeah, I have their lines. So there's kind of more before that. I found there's a good Ash detective moment. You know, I love these moments where Ash points out something obvious. Richie goes, how'd this hole get here? And Ash with brilliantly says, somebody must have dug it.
Really?
I love that.
Oh my God.
I want to steal that. I don't know when I'll use that, but if there's ever a hole, somebody must have dug it. So yeah, then Team Rocket does the chant. It's typical. Jesse's saying 2 twerps fell for it. Meowth goes, we tried a lot of tricky traps, but this one's a whole lot better.
No.
And then James goes, the pit is it. Those crazy contraptions can't create the kind of classic catastrophe one can cause by cleverly concealing a calamitous crater.
I want to know who wrote these alliterations.
Which is a
good
peak
God.
sweet sentence.
That was
Wasn't
incredible.
that dope? That was incredible. That is like at least like a 9 on the sweet sentence scale. That is a very good sentence.
Very good sentence. So Ash and Richie, or Ash tries to climb up the hole, and he falls down, which causes the hole to collapse, and they fall even
collapses
farther.
deeper. And James goes, it's a split level pit. So they are even innovating on the basics. Team Rocket is at the top of their game, folks. You know, they can do holes all day, and holes you think they're rote, you think they're overdone. They are innovating in the whole game. Team Rocket's holes are next level, deeper than ever.
Ew. So they claw Pikachu and Sparky out of the hole. This cage that they have is Pika-proof, they say. It absorbs electricity. Meow says, we decided to be friendly, but only to the environment.
Yeah, because it like conserves electricity. Yeah.
Team Rocket may be shitheads and assholes, but they recycle. Remember that.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like, Team Rocket, release your carbon rebates. Like, I doubt that Giovanni actually conserves the environment.
So they go to march off. Like, actually march off. Like a marching squad.
Yeah, Jesse goes, shock troops forward. Okay.
And then Ash says... I was hoping you wrote it down because I don't remember.
I don't know what he says, but the music kicks in.
He's like, halt or something.
Yeah, it just says, like, fuck you. And Pidgeotto pulls out Ash and Richie. Oh, Pidgeotto and Butterfree are there.
Yeah, they pull
Music
Ash
kicks
and
in.
Richie out of the hole.
Bulbasaur, you know, Ash uses So, like, they had their Pokemon on them. So, like, this wasn't that good of a scheme. Bulbasaur Vine Whips, grabs the cage, tries to grab the cage. James says, I'm too cagey. And then we get the Wheezing Smog Attack. Now, the Wheezing, though, Jesse commands the Wheezing. Did you catch that?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, Jesse goes, Wheezing Smog Attack.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Hmm.
They're very close family.
Yeah, so it's Smogs, Pidgeotto gusts. He tells
Yeah.
Ritchie, or Ash tells Ritchie to use Zippo here, and Bulbasaur Razor Leafs to cut the cage off of the line because this cage is on a fishing rod.
Yeah, it might be this super advanced electricity conserver, but it is just on an old school fishing rod.
And so it falls off, the cage breaks open, Pikachu and Sparky get out of there. Ritchie has Zippo flamethrower, which sets Team Rocket on fire, and they start running around. Pikachu and Sparky then charge the cage with electricity because it can do that apparently.
Yeah, recharge it.
When Squirtle water guns Team Rocket to put him out.
Put out the flame, then the Pikachus chuck the cage back at Team Rocket. Team Rocket catches it, and it's so full of the electricity that it explodes and they blast off.
I love it. That was great.
Fun. It's fun.
That was awesome.
Classic Pokemon, well executed.
So Brock and Misty have found them now. It's time for dinner, and then they're going to go to the closing ceremonies. We're going to skip dinner, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't get to see those croquettes anymore.
Yeah. All of the participants enter the stadium for the closing ceremonies. Delia's crying.
Oh,
and
she's so proud.
And President Goodshow is going to present what they call a commemorative badge to all of the trainers.
A participation trophy.
Oh.
You see what they're doing to kids these days?
I did put, it's pretty fancy for a participation trophy.
Yeah, true.
The difference here, though, is that these trainers have worked to get there.
It's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, whatever, there's nothing wrong with trophies. Or is there something wrong with trophies? I don't know. I don't follow that whole debate. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't have kids.
I don't have.
You don't have what?
Possessions. I don't have.
Okay. So, meanwhile, Team Rocket are trying to dig into the stadium from underground.
Yeah, digging holes is what they're all about this episode. There's not much time, but we came up with a groundbreaking way to steal Pokemon. They're gonna dig that hole. They want to dig so fast.
And so in the stadium, we see who the top 3 trainers in this league championship were. The winner.
We see their silhouettes.
Yeah, no, it's in a remarkable coincidence. The top 3 trainers are all shadow people.
Oh.
Wow. Can't believe that.
Amazing that the top 3 winners for the first time ever of the Pokemon League are from the Shadow Realm and do not have faces. This is really a huge strives for the faceless.
And so it's time for the celebration in the sky to end the league championship. Mm-hmm. Pikachu, it's fireworks. Pikachu and Sparky are enamored by this.
Their eyes are
adorable.
Yeah.
And then under the stadium, Team Rocket are digging up when what looks like a bomb falls on them. Turns out this is one of the fireworks. It's a massive firework.
Yeah, I think James goes, "Is it a Pokeball?" But no, it's a giant firework.
And they go blasting off like a meteor.
With a beautiful
through
bang.
The star in the sky. It's incredible.
Yeah, and then when it blows, of course, they are torn limb to limb, and their blood rains down on the stadium to Slayer's Raining Blood. The song kicks in.
Yeah, very unrealistic depiction of fireworks.
Yeah.
Come on, show.
Don't play around with fireworks, kids.
Do better.
You will die.
So, next day, the stadium is empty, deserted until next year's events. Ash and Ritchie are looking over the stadium in the stands. They're kind of recounting their experience, telling each other to train hard, and they say goodbye. Ash reminds them of their promise as the theme song comes on, as Ash remembers through his experience in the Pokemon League. And this is the full theme song. 2 verses.
And we get the montage of the last few episodes, the last 7 episodes that we just watched.
Yeah. So I think we can skip past this part.
Moltres, Fire, Executor and Krabby, Kingler and Golbat, Squirtle and Nidoran, Bulbasaur and Beedrill, Pikachu and Bellsprout, Muck and Bellsprout, Ash and Ritchie showdown, Ash losing, and Ash and Pikachu standing there gazing into the, I don't know, just gazing. They just look serious.
Yeah, we didn't even have to recap the last 5 episodes. We could have just done this one.
Yeah. It's got it all there, folks.
He's standing in the stadium as the sun shines down on him. He asks Pikachu if he's ready to train even harder as his friends and family take him back to Pallet Town. And he's now more determined than ever to become a Pokemon master. And that, my friends, is the season.
Indigo League.
We made
Indigo League. Okay,
Crazy.
So we're gonna finish up this episode, and then we'll talk a bit about the season as a whole. So, literature hour for the episode. So there's that theme that we were talking about feeling sorry for yourself and really taking it very personally, but then trying sort of to move on. It's a little bit about what do you do with grief? What do you do about perceived failure? And where do you go from there? So the book I'm going to pick is Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. This is about migrant workers, I believe about in the late 1800s or early 19... No, maybe it was the early 1900s. I don't remember exactly what time it takes place, but it's about, when there isn't work in the American South and migrant workers traveling around for work, but there's like not a lot of food and crops aren't doing well and that sort of thing. And there's this character named Uncle John who lost his wife. And his wife had told him one day, I have a stomach ache, and he didn't take it seriously. And it ended up being something much more serious, and she passed away. And ever since then, he took it as like a personal failure, really got into drinking, that sort of thing. And so that grief kind of sat on him. But he is a good person deep down, and he sort of uses that pain to try to be generous and to do good, like in the rest of his family and that sort of thing. A much more serious portrayal of this, but I do think there's some of Uncle John in Ash in this episode where he's dealing with that sort of grief and trying to figure out how to use it positively.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Makes sense to me.
Thanks for the yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to do something else quickly before you finished, but
he's on Reddit, folks.
I did not get anywhere
he's
close.
He's playing chess.
All right, so let's move on then.
Yeah.
All right, our first category.
We're doing the 4-pour.
For the final episode of the season will be The Jelly Donut Effect, a classic.
Ooh, so this is like funny or strange sort of translation things, alluding to when they called rice balls in the early episodes jelly donuts. Okay, so dub edits. In the original version, Ritchie apologizes for losing despite how much his friends were cheering him on. In the dub, though, he points out that he and Ash have one more thing in common by losing. Not much
Losers.
there. Losers.
Ritchie blames his loss on his own inexperience in the original Japanese, while in the English, he places the blame on how tough his competition was. Loses a little bit of character there.
Yeah. The commemorative plates given out to participants referred to as Pokemon League badge in English. Ash also references them earlier in the English double. In Japanese, he just says he is starving for dinner.
Okay. Weak edits.
Yeah, I mean, the sort of like funny dub stuff is not as common as it was in the early episodes.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of ironing that out a bit, eh?
Yeah, this is a 2 for me.
Yeah. It is for me as well. Yeah, 2 on the dot.
All right. Graham, are you ready for the final category of the Indigo League?
My God. The last Indigo score.
Holy shit. It's going to be not how the game works.
Oh, we had one, didn't we? Or was that in the previous episode?
The sleep was the last episode.
Oh, crap.
So right. let's think here. Well, there aren't holes for the player to fall in, unfortunately.
No. Double layered holes.
Yeah, this is bad because there's not really game mechanics.
Not much of a battle in this one.
No.
It is really just more about grief, so we don't have good ones. Oh my God, this is gonna get a low score too, isn't it?
Yeah. Fuck.
3. I don't know. 1.
I'm trying to think. If you want to get technical, Pidgeotto and Butterfree are flying types, and they lift up their trainers like Fly does in the game. That's kind of like how the game works too. Except I don't think Butterfree can learn Fly, so I'm gonna dock it for that.
So that's a penalty. Well, no, that's not how the game works.
Oh yeah, so it improves.
So they get the fact that he should know Fly actually improves it.
Okay, we're gonna make some stretches to get this one a good score.
Oh, it's a yoga class. What else?
Yeah, Butterfree cannot learn Fly, so he should not be able to lift Ritchie. Come on, show.
Okay, what about the move Dig in the games? Could that get you under a stadium and exploded by a firework?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Tentacool can't learn Bubble, so that's not how that works.
We did have the one.
There's that.
Our Bubble Beam fiasco. Oh my God, this is up to maybe like a 4 now.
Oh my goodness.
So the Bubble Beam one's not bad. Yeah, that one's actually something we called out. What about recharging cages?
I can't say that's not really how the game works. That's just not a thing.
Hitting smog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fire types don't really blow up poison in the games.
No.
I
think we're up to a 5. I think we're up to a 5.
I think that's a 4 for me.
Yeah, I'll go with 5.
So 4.5. So that is 3.25? Yes. All right. That's it for the 4-pour for the Indigo League. Do we want to know how the season overall ranks?
Yes.
Well, averaging every score that we've given every episode here, the Indigo League lands at a very average 5.4.
I think that just shows the true power of the 4-pour.
Mm-hmm.
It is only slightly skewed above that clean 5.
Yep.
It is it fits Pokemon perfectly,
Yep.
right? The 4-pour and Pokemon, the Indigo League, are a match made in heaven. They are truly the peanut butter and jelly of TV shows and ranking systems.
Incredible.
5.4. Beautiful.
So, a few weeks ago, I went through the episode scores, and I just put the episodes down by rank, from best to the worst. Do we want to go through the top 10 best and worst episodes of the season?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what do you want to start with, best or worst?
Well, we'll do best first, because for some reason, people love hearing about the worst.
Yeah.
So let's follow The Rock in Fast 5 when he says, "I like my dinner before my dessert," and start with the best episodes.
So there are a lot of ties in these rankings because a lot of them just end in 0.0 or 0.5. So we're just going to count them all as the ties and whatnot. So tied for 10th with a 7.5 is Hypno's Nap Time and Electric Shock Showdown.
Ooh, okay. Electric Shock Showdown's very memorable.
Good episode.
That's the Surge one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a good episode. That definitely belongs in the top 10.
And so tied for 8th place at 8 average is Mystery at the Lighthouse. Good episode. The Legend of Dratini, a band episode.
Ooh, band episode. That's the Western one, right?
Yep. In the Safari Zone.
Yeah.
And Showdown at Dark City, the one with the ketchup.
Is it the one with the two gangs? Yeah,
Yep.
the ketchup and the omelet and stuff? Yep. Yeah. Oh, great.
Tied for 5th place then, 5th through 3rd, is Pokemon I Choose You, the very first episode.
Is that the opening? Oh, yep. Wow. Yeah.
Followed by with a Chansey Operation.
Okay,
which
a
was
Chansey
that funny
Operation
doctor.
is an incredible
it's a great episode.
True piece of comedy.
And The Ultimate Test, which features Jigglypuff
that
as
one's
seen from
funny
above.
Too,
That's
right?
a good episode as well.
Yeah, Jigglypuff as seen from above. Perfect.
In 2nd place, with an 8.83, is Huber's favorite episode, one of our first guests. It's The Punchy Pokemon.
Yeah, Hubert, fan of the show. The Punchy Pokemon was the second best episode. So, feel proud, man.
And we all know this one. Number 1 episode with a perfect 10. It's The Tower of Terror.
My personal favorite. Come on, it's got the Three Stooges in ghost form. It's incredible. All right. Yeah, I like that.
All right. So let's do top 10 worst episodes. The bottom 10.
Yeah, you're going to count down. So,
yes.
So this is the 10th worst. 10th from the worst.
So this, I guess, technically is a bottom 12 because there's a...
Because it ties, yeah.
Yeah, because there's ties. There's 9, and then the 10th place is there's 3 of them at the same score. So with a 3.25 in 10th place, tied for 10th, is The March of the Executor Squad.
Featuring Melvin.
Melvin,
right?
the magician, yep. Holy Matrimony, which was the James wedding episode.
James backstory one, yeah.
Yep. And All Fired Up, which was one of the last episodes here.
Oh, okay.
Right, the
which
torch
one was
episode.
All Fired Up? Oh, the torch
running
episode.
of the torch.
Oh, I liked that one, actually.
That was a good one. That was fun.
Yeah.
So in 9th place, with a 3 from the 4-pour, is Pokemon Paparazzi.
Well, the episode that gave us Pokemon Snap also got a 3. Got it.
Tied for 8th place, there's 3 of them here. It's Clefairy and the Moonstone.
Mm-hmm.
The Ninja Poké Showdown. That's the Koga episode.
The Koga episode, yeah.
And Bulbasaur's Mysterious Garden with the cool-ass solar beam.
Oh, the Mysterious Garden. That's the one with all the Ivysaurs screaming because they don't know if they're plants or animals.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
In 5th place, with a 2.25, it's Who Gets to Keep Togepi.
Oh, the one where Meowth becomes a parent.
That's so good. Meowth, you scratch. Got it. Incredible.
Yeah.
The 4th worst episode with a flat 2. It's the first badge. It's Showdown in Pewter City.
Oh, and it sucks.
Awful. In 3rd place, 3rd worst, with a 1.66. It's the one with the big oily chest. It's To Master the Unexpected.
Yeah, this is an episode Shauna was on for. And Meowth, the Meowth episode before that had us so excited, and that one was just not the same. but it had a massive chest.
The second to worst episode of the season with a 1.5. It's the Battle of the Badge, the 8th
Oh, and that
badge
was actually
episode.
an okay episode.
That was a good episode. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. And number 1, the worst episode in Pokemon Indigo League with a 1, flat 1 from the 4-poor. It's Challenge of the Samurai. It's the hard off.
Yeah,
How
it's
did that
Samurai. I hardly knew her.
Come on.
I like that got a 1 because that kid is so fucking weird.
He was
a samurai
annoying.
kid who lives in Viridian Forest or whatever.
But that's it. That's your top 10 best and top 10 worst episodes of the season. Yeah. And what a season it's been.
What a season. It's been a bit of summer, a bit of fall,
Yeah, a bit of winter. We started in January.
What? Yeah, January is winter.
You said summer and fall. I said winter.
Ah, yes. Oh, right. The whole season. Gotcha.
The whole season, yeah.
The season of
We got all of them in there, yeah.
And that's rare in Canada. We really just have winter and construction, right? That's the age-old joke.
Yeah, that's true. So, what else do we have to talk about with the season as a whole?
Okay, yeah, fun season. Let's just talk about quickly kind of base impressions. I know you had watched this stuff more recently, but it's been a long time. So watching Pokemon again was a pretty interesting experience. I sort of expected the animation to look pretty stilted and old, and there are definitely times when it does, but
PNG Razor Leaf, baby, let's go.
It is not bad, though. Having watched some other old anime, it is not bad. There is some money in this, and occasionally, it looks pretty good. But they do a lot of trying to make their budget go far as well. Yeah, you get the PNG Razor Leaf. You get sort of where fights are just the Pokemon on the still backgrounds. I was also kind of surprised at how, there were definitely things that bored me that wouldn't have bored me as a kid. Like I'm less interested in fights. I actually like a lot sort of the humor and silly stuff though. I find that really fun. It's a kind of Saturday morning cartoon-esque, but it totally works. Yeah, it's fun, like those character dynamics, them kind of fighting and squabbling and stuff. That's all pretty entertaining.
Yeah, we've brought it up a few times throughout the course of the season, but as a kid, you look at the filler and you think, oh my god, can we just get to a new gym? Can we get an evolution, a new Pokemon or something? But right. Watching it as an adult, we can way more appreciate the filler because it's just silly and stupid.
It's just fun. Yeah. Yeah, and I like sort of the kinds of thinking that goes into filler where you're sort of trying to think about something else in the world or what ifing a little bit. What if, the gang encountered this kind of thing? So I think that's fun.
Yeah, and it's a good thing we can appreciate the filler because there's going to be a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, so we were talking, and I believe that part wasn't recorded, but we were talking about what the next season, it being the Orange Island, of how fillerish that's going to be. And it just depends. It depends how you look at things. Because on one hand, it's a complete filler concept, but within that concept, it looks fairly tight, right? It's not as meandering as some of the other leagues.
Yeah, there's only, I think, 36 episodes or something.
Which is relatively compact for a Pokemon arc. Yeah.
And it's its own story. And so with the few episodes and it being its own story, there's a lot less filler. We're going to be hitting big moments and whatnot a lot quicker than in Indigo League, and then it'll grind to a halt in Johto.
I'm excited. I want some weird shit.
I'm very excited.
But yeah, we're going to dive right into Orange Island starting next week even. So don't worry, TCAT isn't going anywhere. We are going to experience that tropical world of Orange Island right away. Now, I do remember the Orange Island episodes a bit from as a kid. I think at the time, I don't know how aware I was that this was something completely different, from the games. I must have, because I was following the gaming magazines and stuff. So I must have been aware, but I don't remember having a problem with that or anything.
Well,
I mean, whatever.
At that point, there wouldn't have been another region for them to explore.
It would have been coming really soon, though.
Either that or, actually looking at air dates, let me see here. Orange Islands premiered in Japan January 28th, 99.
But December 4th, 99 in the US and Canada.
Gold and Silver released in Japan November 21st, 99. So there was still a good chunk of time that they needed to fill with the anime before they could move on to Johto.
Yeah, but not that much.
Almost a
right?
whole
Like,
year, January to November.
Nah, that's true. Yeah, but from North America's viewer, yeah, so about a
And
year.
this
Yeah,
also
you're right.
Orange
You're
Islands
right,
also
about a
ended
year.
before Gold and Silver came out. So
Right. So about a year. But I guess what I'm getting at is by then gaming magazines were
Mhm,
already having previews and stuff of
yeah.
what Gold and Silver were going to be like. So I would have been aware that something was coming game-wise that wasn't this, you
Yeah.
know?
And yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of like teases towards Johto there are in the Orange Islands. I know of one, but I don't know of any others. I don't remember.
Oh, teases to Johto? No idea. There is a bit of, we talk about it as kind of a brand new story, but they borrow some things from Indigo games that they just hadn't gotten a chance to touch on yet, right?
Yeah.
Like we see some of these Elite Four characters,
Yeah.
but repurposed.
Yeah, looking at the thumbnails, we know Laurelie's here and
That famous thumbnail.
Yeah, that one.
But the other one we can see is Lance, right?
No.
Oh, that's not Lance in the
I don't
thumbnail?
No, I don't think so.
Episode 1, Enter the Dragonite?
Yeah, that's someone else completely.
Oh, it's his brother, France.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible
and
name.
We'll get there. It'll be fun.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Orange Islands is much shorter. It's only going to take us like I think less than 20 weeks, I would say,
Ah, nice.
compared to the 40 of Indigo League.
And then into Johto. So this is a nice palate cleanser.
Yep. Going to be some interesting stuff. 2 episodes that have been removed from rotation in Orange Islands that we'll cover.
Okay.
And
Cool.
yeah.
Perfect.
Well, as to what we're doing next week, we should probably name the episodes.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing episode 83, Palette Party Panic, and episode 84, A Scare in the Air.
Also, that episode titled in Japanese, Blimp Accident, question mark. Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to keep calling them, we're going to keep the number up, the episode number.
Yeah, we're going to keep
counting,
our crazy numbering.
Just to keep, to keep us aware of how far we've come,
It's about the journey.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So the other thing, Kellen, because it's the season ender, we're going to do something a little bit special for people who want to tune in on your Twitch channel, right?
Yes. So we were talking about how at the end of a region, we kind of want to do something special. It's, it's a big moment. We want to do something not on the podcast, something completely different. If you want to tune in, you can join us over on twitch.tv/HydraLeech on October 21st. Somewhere between, we don't have a set date, or a set time rather, sorry, but it'll be between 6 and 7 Pacific, 7, 8 Mountain, 8, 9 Eastern.
Evening, that's a Saturday. So
it'll be Saturday evening.
evening. Yeah.
And what we're going to do is Graham and I will be joined by Nolan, 2-time guest on the podcast, my
and
brother,
producer.
quote-unquote producer.
And chief marketing officer.
Chief marketing officer. And on Twitch, we're going to be playing the Pokemon Master Trainer board game.
Ooh, from way back in the day.
From way back when. Unfortunately, this will be over just Tabletop Simulator because we can't be together to record it. That would be sweet, though.
So it'll be in the realm of the Porygons.
But we're going to do a little match or two of Pokemon Master Trainer, which is a
with
fun
some
time.
comedy along the way.
And it's a weirdly complicated board game for the target audience.
I used to play it with myself. Is that sad? I used to set it up and just play it like me pretend to be all the players, and then I would just try to capture as many Pokemon as I could.
So yes, join us for that October 21st in the evening, 7 to 8 our time. This is our start.
Yep.
Join us then. It'll be fun.
All right.
I think that's it.
That's our news, yeah. So
that's all we gotta cover.
Thanks for sticking with us, folks. It's been a fun ride. Love that we've got weekly listeners. We love doing this, and we're going to keep at it. So as usual, you can give us comments on the YouTube videos, on the channel. HydraLeech is where they are. You can also email us at tokilla@delibird@gmail.com. Intro and outro music is 80s Synthwave by Alexi Action. Also, we've got audio versions on all the major audio platforms, Spotify, Apple, etc. All right, we made it. This was a big episode. This was a crazy time. Yeah. And we'll be getting back to more crazy comedy stuff in the future, too. Hopefully people like that. This episode was definitely more about the Pokemon. We'll have plenty of those, too. So.
Yep. And it's
Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Goodbye to the Indigo
Orange
League.
Island, you happy I didn't say banana.
Here we go.
Bye.
That was terrible. Bye.
You're welcome. welcome.